If you're creating content for a technical product, there's a mistake that most everyone makes. They talk about features, they talk about capabilities, and they go deep into how the product works. But that's not what your audience is looking for, because your audience isn't searching for your software, they're searching for a solution to their problem. And if your content doesn't meet them there, you'll never get their attention in the first place. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create subject matter expert content for technical products that actually attracts the right people, that it will build trust with them, and it will lead them naturally to your product. When you're creating content that leads to a technical product, the trap that most people fall into is they focus too much on the features. They explain what the product or program does, but they don't clearly communicate the outcome that you're leading it to, the result, or the transformation that happens along the way. And because of that, their content doesn't connect with the viewer. Let me show you an example of what I mean, because what this person is saying is actually important, but it's being applied in the wrong place. So listen to how he talks about features and capabilities.
And the thing about marketing is it's almost the opposite. You can't explain everything to somebody because one, you're going to be missing the mark. You have to really figure out how to hone in fast to something that's going to tie into what they actually want.
This is so key, but let's listen to see how he suggests that they actually do that.
Big piece of it was to step back and say, all right, let's go through all these capabilities. What are the capabilities? What are the features we have? Okay, that's great. What does that do? Why do we care? Why do we care? Why does a customer care? Why did we build that anyway?
So what they're talking about here is important, but it applies to the promotion phase, which is actually step 2. Step 1 is thought leadership content. Step 2 is promotional content, and that distinction is where the opportunity really is. Before someone ever cares about your features, before they even know that your product exists, they're searching for answers. They have a problem or they have a goal, and they're trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And the good news is we can find exactly what their questions are, what people are searching for on Google, YouTube, or ChatGPT. So instead of starting with what features should I talk about, you should start with what questions are my audience asking online. And then you just build content around that. That's how you position yourself as the expert. That's how you build trust, and that's how you can create a relationship before you ever promote anything. And then once that relationship is there, now your promotional content actually works. Because now when you talk about your product, it's not just about features, it's the solution that they've already been searching for. Here's the shift that you have to understand. Nobody wakes up and searches for your software. They don't search for your platform, or they don't search for your program. They search for their problem. They search for the thing that they're trying to fix, or the goal that they're trying to achieve. And this is where most SaaS companies and really any technical product get it wrong. They think that they need to lead with the promotion. Let's get our product in front of people. Let's talk about what we build, but that's actually backwards, because at that stage, your audience isn't ready for your product. They're looking for answers. And this is where subject matter expert content becomes extremely powerful. So instead of promoting first, you teach, you guide, you help them understand their problem. And as you do that, you build this relationship and they start to trust you. They don't feel like they're being sold to. And when they move from informational intent to buyer intent, they already know who you are, they already trust you, and now your promotional content will actually work. So this leads to another big shift. You're not competing with your competitors, you're competing with search results, Google, YouTube, even ChatGPT, because when someone has a problem, that's where they go. So the real question is, when they search, do they find you? If you do, you win. And this is where it becomes a positioning play. As a subject matter expert, you can actually own your category. You can show up consistently for the exact questions that your audience is asking. When that happens, your competitors become irrelevant because you're not fighting for attention anymore. You're the one that's being found at the top. So this also changes how you think about your content. You don't need to go deep into every feature of your software. You don't need to explain everything it does because, again, that's not what your audience is looking for. What they need is clarity. They need answers. They need to understand how to solve their problem. So instead of overwhelming them with technical depth, you focus on relevance. You answer their question, you help them move forward, you help them see the value of the solution. Now, there are exceptions. Sometimes people are searching for something very specific about your software, a feature, a task, a capability, and in those cases, yes, go ahead and go deep, but notice the difference. You're not saying, here are all of our features. I hope one of these matters to you. What you're saying is, here's exactly what you're trying to do, and here's how to do it. In that process, you're going to naturally demonstrate your product without it being a promotional video. And that's the key, because in the first step, when you're building a relationship, you're not selling, you're helping. And that's what positions you as the expert. So if you started thinking about creating this type of content from watching this video, the next question becomes, how long should your content actually be? Because if it's too short, you won't build enough trust. And if it's too long without purpose, you're going to lose people. So you want to watch this next episode. It's called How Long Should a Thought Leadership Content Piece Be? So this will show you exactly how to structure your content so you can keep their attention, build trust, and position yourself as the authority. So go watch that episode now.